Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony, and this is my channel, BlackMomAbroad. And on this channel, I speak with transparency, authenticity about my journey as a Black mother who moved abroad. So y'all, it's been a long time, honey. It's been too long. It's been too long. I got a lot to say. I had a lot to cover. As you can tell, I'm back. Right? I'm back. I'm back in Mexico. These not the same trees, honey. Something always biting me. I'm back in Mexico, and I got a lot to cover. I have to drop another video about just what my next steps are, but this particular video is just about like my mom guilt and how you feel as a mom when you make decisions that you wholeheartedly feel will benefit everyone involved, but initially it may not look like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just start off with saying that I went back to the United States. As you guys know, I made a video on that. And the main purpose of me going back to the United States was to drop off my daughters with their dad. So I have 4 children. I'll tell you a little bit about my story if you don't already know, so that you can kind of follow where I'm going. So I have 4 children, right? I was married before for 5 years, the longest 5 years ever of my life. Okay. Got divorced, but I had 2 children from that marriage. My 2 sons, my pumpkin pies, they my babies. They are my babies, honey. One is 17, about to turn 18, and one is 14, about to turn 50. They both have birthdays coming up. One January, one February, right? So my purpose of going back to the United States was to drop off my twin girls and also see my boys, right? Let me tell y'all something. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing my boys. I really, really, really did. Let me go back a little bit. I was in a just abusive marriage, right? Not physically abusive, but mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, it was abusive, right? And so when we split, it really wasn't a good split. It wasn't. And I know that my children, like, it took a toll on my children. You know what I'm saying? And so that relationship was so harmful because he did everything in his power to instill in me that I was a horrible mother, right? And I was very, very influential and impressionable back then, and he knew it. You know what I'm saying? And some of the things that he told me about myself, about me being a mother, I kept. I believed it, and I kept. Even though it's so crazy, though. It's like, even though I was the one who was doing all the stuff, all the work, you know what I'm saying? He was still able to make me believe that I was a horrible mother. You know what I'm saying? So I've always kind of carried this mom guilt around because it's just what was instilled in me. Oh my God, my son is calling me again. He didn't call me about 5 times. Hold on, y'all. Sorry about that. But so I don't want to say that like their dad has not taken care of them or been a pivotal part of their life, because that is just not true. Because they live with their dad now. But things are different now than what they were prior. And a lot of that has to do with me just standing up for myself, speaking up for myself. Get the fuck off my goddamn drink. Sorry, y'all. I be cussing out the damn flies. standing up for myself, speaking up for myself, creating boundaries and sticking to it, that has really, 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 really helped. But I didn't go unscathed. I heard something today, or I read something today on Instagram or Facebook's one of those social media websites, sites, whatever platforms, and hopefully I get it right, but a man basically said that him and his wife had separated, and it's been 2 years since they separated and gotten a divorce, and she sent him something and basically said that you were able to learn lessons, gain lessons from this relationship, but I had to unlearn things, unpack things, and I really like relate to that in the highest degree, because I was in a relationship where I didn't get anything out of it. I didn't get anything out of it. I mean, I got children, but I had things that I had to unlearn, to unpack, while he had valuable lessons that he was able to learn. And so that really was the nature of my marriage. And so for me, I always felt like I had to overcompensate, to do more, to do this, to constantly try to prove that I was a good mom, when the entire time I was a good mom. Like, good moms are human, right? They make mistakes, right? They're not perfect. And how it was presented to me is such an influential time in my life and an influential age, from a man who had already had a child and who had already been married, which should have been red flags to me, and it probably would have been if I had my father around. Um, he was able to get taught valuable lessons where I had to unlearn all of the toxicity and all of the abuse. So that's kind of what the background is with my ex husband and my sons. Um, so I say that to say this. When I made the decision to leave the United States, and move to another country, there was a lot of emotion that came with that, guys. There was a lot of guilt. There was a lot of uneasiness. It was just a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I went back and forth over and over and over again. Some people feel like, and some people have said things to the effect like, you left your children there? How could you leave your children? It's like, it's so crazy how quickly and how we sometimes don't realize that we are so judgmental. Like, we are so judgmental, and that there it has become this normalcy that a woman should be a martyr. A woman should be a martyr to everybody in their life. Like, you never get to choose you. You don't get to choose you, no matter if you are about to hang off a fucking side of a goddamn building. You still have to think about other people. And that was my entire marriage, was thinking about him, my ex-husband, thinking about my children. I never got the opportunity to think about me. And so getting out of that, having years of healing and unpacking what that was and how it affects me and how it still affects me today, I made a decision to do what was in my best interest. And I want to tell any mother who is struggling with the idea of whether to leave your children, I think it depends, and I think it's individually based. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not just like a blanket topic. It's based off of what your situation is. But I will say this to you. Don't you feel ashamed? Don't you feel ashamed? How can you choose? Like, we have to break this cycle of feeling like we have to give all of us. Like, we can't make any decisions based off of how we feel, what we want, how we want to live our lives. And so, is our children our responsibility? Yes, that goes without saying, right? But you will never have, I don't want to say never, I'll speak for myself. My children will not be happy unless I am happy. Like, I have the opportunity to create a generation of happy, joyful boys who put themselves and their happiness and their joy and their wants and their needs first. I am the example. I am setting the example. And so I just want you guys to know that I understand the feelings that may come with it and how you may feel, but never feel like you're doing something wrong, and never feel like you shameful or guilty, or try not to, because I know it's difficult, because I still do. But there is nothing wrong with choosing yourself. Nothing wrong with choosing yourself. So I get back to the United States and I spend some time with my boys, and I have this feeling of guiltiness. I have this feeling of shame. I have this feeling of regret. I have this feeling of doubt whether or not I chose to do the right thing. And then I spend some time with my boys, right? Because we believe that sometimes we have to be right in the thick of it, or that the only way to parent is like the day-to-day parenting, right? When I went back to the United States, and as I'm spending time and talking to and relating to my children, I realized that having a healthy mother is the best gift I could ever give them. It's the best gift I can ever give them. I'm telling you, y'all, don't let nobody tell you anything different. When I went back, I just had an amazing time with my boys. Like, we went to the movies. We went to bowling. We did tons of things together, but most importantly, we spent quality time together. We spoke on the phone. We laughed. We joked. We talked about serious things. We got a lot of things covered, and in that moment, I knew that I made the right decision because I was aware, I was present, I was happy, I was joyful, I was able to discern when they needed me, even though they didn't say it. Because here's the things with teens, they're not verbal. They're not always verbal. They're not going to always come out and tell you, hey, ma, this is this, and this, and this, and this, and especially if you're not a safe space, right? What I realized coming back is that I am my boy's safe place. Even though their dad takes care of them the day to day, like he's there day in and day out, and I'm not, right? For things across the spectrum, anything you could think of, I am their first point of contact. And if I'm not their first point of contact, do you know who is? My sisters or my mom. So they feel so open and free and safe to reach out to me with anything, to their grandmother, my mom, to all of their aunts if they need something. Well, what up? That's it, girl. That is it. That is it. We're talking about teenagers who are going through things, who are suffering. This is a very difficult world for our teens. I said it in a previous video that our teens are under attack. And so, and more so with this upcoming election, our teens are under attack. So the point that my children feel safe enough to come and talk to me when they have a serious concern lets me know that I am doing things right. That I am doing things right. And so I just really wanted to do this video really quickly to talk to moms who potentially could be feeling the same way. And I want to tell you is that you're still a mother even if you're not involved with the day-to-day. And from my experience, even though you're not there physically, I am still very much involved with the day-to-day of my children's lives. I am still making appointments, making sure that he has insurance before he drives. He does this, he does that, da, 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 da. Like society has made Black women believe that we got to be in the trenches 24/7. It's like we don't get to decide to do things for ourselves. We have to be the breadwinners. We have to, y'all know I'll go off on a tangent about that, okay? We got to be everything to everyone. And when we walk away, when we make a decision to do something that is for us, you hear all these people bashing you. What type of mother that leaves her children? What type of mother chooses herself? You're selfish. As if something is wrong with being selfish. People who call you selfish, you have to understand what their motives are. What's your motive for calling me selfish? Is it because I won't do what you want me to do? Is it because I'm no longer at your beck and call? You know what I'm saying? Is it because you want me to do something in this moment and so you're using that as a manipulation tactic to make me feel good, to instill shit, to make me feel bad, to instill shame and guilt so that I will do ultimately what you want me to do? Mothers, never feel bad about choosing yourself, because choosing yourself is ultimately choosing your children. Period. Now, children will adapt, but I have never seen a child who didn't have major challenges after being raised from a depressed mom, or a mother who was anxious, or a mother who wasn't present, or a mother who was in survival mode. Like, that trickles all down to your children. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because that's the mom that my sons got, right? They got the survival mother, the living paycheck to paycheck mother, the worry wart, the anxious, the depressed mother who didn't get out the bed for 10 days straight. They got that. They got that. But I was always loving and kind and always taught them what I could. I always was a mother. Anytime I had the energy to be. Anytime I had the energy to be. And so I'm saying all that because I was just very happy and felt a sense of complete relief to know that everything that I taught my children, everything that we've been through, is all paying off because they are amazing people. And you know how you have a good friend and you don't have to talk to her every single day. You could talk to her once a month. You could see her once, twice a year. And every time y'all get together, it's like y'all never even left each other. That's how it is with your children. Your children will never forget you. They will never forget what you've done. They will never forget the sacrifices. They will not forget. But it was my ex who made it seem like because I wasn't there physically meant that I wasn't a good mother. Now, mind you, I've always been very, 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 very involved in my children's lives ever since they were babies, right? And I'm not saying just involved. I would say from the time that they were babies up until they were like my oldest son, up until he was like 13, and my youngest son up until he was like 10. Like, I pretty much did all the running. I've always said, and not to bash, it's just the honest to goodness truth. I've always said that their father is a good father because I'm an amazing mother. And women who know what that means know what that means, right? You know, you could make someone look good and be okay with them looking good because my purpose is not to expose him for what it really is. Even though he tried to do that with me, that's not my purpose. My purpose is for my children to have the best life that they can have, to have a present and loving mother, to have a supportive mother, to have an understanding mother, to have a mother that they can call whenever things go down. I don't care if you in a jail in Honolulu, Hawaii. I don't care if I don't care where you are. I don't care what's going on. Call me. Call me. And I will be there. And they know that. When I tell you that is an amazing feeling to me and to them, that what I am giving them, the sense of security and safety and knowing that they have support, we have to do a better job of giving ourselves kudos and not allowing other people to project onto us what they feel about them. So I was just very, very happy to be around my children, to hang out, and just know that we did not skip a beat. Actually, we have gotten stronger, and our relationship is going to get stronger, right? Like, we have to understand, especially as mothers, like, your relationship don't stop because they get older, because they almost 18. Like, it doesn't stop. I'm gonna be your mother forever. I will never not be your mother. And so I was just really, 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 I feel like I'm going off on a tangent and really not really talking about much of anything. But I was just really, really, really happy. And I was just really relieved because I really did feel the guilt of not being there. But I want to let y'all know that when and if you start to feel that way, look at yourself in the mirror and be like, listen, you did a good job. You are doing a good job. You are an amazing mother. And you're going to be an amazing mother in another country. And it's okay. It's okay. It's like society teaches you that a man can go, follow his dreams, start a new career, start a whole new family, move 5 states away, move to another country, and nobody says anything. But when a mother do it, oh, what type of mother? Here comes the shame. And don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them do that to you. Because let me tell you something. Your children don't want you to be unhappy. Your children don't want you to continue to sacrifice everything, all your being, all your might, all your energy, all your joy to them when you have nothing left. They want to enjoy you in this joyful space, in this full space, in this healed space. They want to partake in that as well. So never let anyone make you feel guilty for making a decision that is ultimately best for you, because what's ultimately best for you is ultimately going to be what's best for your children. So that's for my my teenagers. Now, I did feel saddened by dropping my girls off and them being with their dad, but I got myself together real quick, like no, they have a father. They have a father. I didn't do this by myself. They have a father. So, but I wanted to bring this topic up because I don't think it's talked about. Like, I don't think it's talked about at all. I think that there's a lot of like shaming done from women and men When a mother decides to move to another country and I take, all of their children, there's different circumstances. Of course, I would have loved for my sons to be here with me, but they got a whole life. And I personally feel that it was unkind for me, or like, what's your intention behind moving them to another country if they're telling you that they're not ready to go? What's your intentions? Are you being selfish? Do you just want them next to you? Do you just do you just not want to feel guilty or ashamed, which you shouldn't feel anyway? So I just wanted to bring some type of awareness that there are definitely like feelings when you make the decision to do what's best for you. But I want you guys to understand that it takes a village to raise a child, to raise children. And my children are surrounded by a village. Like, I have 4 sisters. They have a dad. They have an older sister who, I believe she's 26. She's married. She has a child on the way. Like, they have an abundant amount of support. And so you got to keep telling yourself that you deserve to choose you. And you are not neglecting your child, throwing your child away. You're not doing any of that, right? Because 2 things can be very true at the same time. It's the people who make it seem like only one thing can be true. It's like, Lord, are we living in 2024 or are we living in 1950s, y'all? Like, you can have 2 things happen at the same time. You can be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can love your child and still not be with him every single day. You can want what's best for your child and also want what's best for you. You do not have to sacrifice so many big parts of who you are to be what you need to be as a mother. So let's dispel that. Let's dispel that. You know what I'm saying? Let's dispel that. But that's really all I have for you guys. Go ahead and do me a favor and put a comment in the comment section, letting me know, like, have you had these thoughts? Like, have you had these feelings? What did you do about it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like we don't talk about it as mothers. Like, it's like cliche. It's like, but I know I'm not the only one who has 2 different dads, right? I was married years ago. I think, like, I don't know, 13, 14 years ago. 15 years ago. Yeah, maybe longer than that. And then I had children, had my twins with their dad. And so when you have, 2 sets, you have 2 different dads, some may be okay with going, some may not be okay. And my children have such an age gap. I had teenagers and then I had toddlers. I know. But yeah, don't let anyone make you feel guilty about ultimately choosing the right move for you, because the right move for you is the right move for them. And you have to believe it. You have to trust the process. Your parenting doesn't stop at 17, 18. It's ongoing. So maybe they don't appreciate what you are doing for yourself now, but they will appreciate it later. All right, guys, gotta go. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, and leave me a comment below just to tell me how you may be feeling or dealing with a similar situation. All right, guys, peace.